Hello everyone. I would like to present my paper in this occasion. Firstly, I would like to introduce my name. I am Imelda from Indonesian Institute of Sciences. So the discussion that I would like to explain you today is about Moy language shifting. My paper entitled Moy Language from Language Policy to Language Revitalization? Question mark. There are 5 important parts that I would like to discuss with you. First one about Moy ethnic groups. The second, the research problem and questions related to Moy language shifting. And then I would like to discuss about before the policy. The fourth one, I would discuss the Moy language policy itself, and the last one is quite wide discussion about do the policy actually addresses the issues of Moy language shifting. Let us continue to the first slide. That is about Moy ethnic groups. Moy people is, which is referred to my research, is an ethnic group which live in Sorong Municipal. There are 7% or around 6,000 people of 80,000 Sorong Regency citizens. They are unique, they are specific, and they have their own language called Moy language. Even though these people are limited in numbers, but they have a very wide traditional area along the Sorong City, Sorong Municipal, South Sorong Municipal, and Raja Ampat Municipal. To be clear, I would like to focus only on Sorong Municipal. Additionally, I would like to introduce you that Moy people has lots of sub-ethnic groups. They are Kelim, Abun, Ji, Sigin, Maya, Lemas, Klabra, Abun Taat, and Salsma. So let us have a look at the map. If you see here, the head bird of West Papuan, Sorong, Moy people exactly living along the city of Sorong. So let us move to the picture of their traditional land. Along the Sorong, they are all, I can say, belongs to Moy people. So even though their number is very limited, they have a very wide place to live. And the second one, the research problem and questions. What is the problem? The problem actually is about Moy language shifting. This community has a very long history where it started from the Dutch colonial opened a mining factory. So Dutch colonial bring along lots of laborers to this place. Also, Indonesian government in 1977 and 1978 sent transmigrants from Java to this land. There are also spontaneous transmigrants from Makassar along Sulawesi and Maluku. So this place is very multicultural, very heterogeneous in terms of ethnicity. On the other side, Moy people is are open-minded and very adaptive type of people. This kind of characteristic then brings the Moi people a little bit changing their culture. Nowadays, it is very common to see younger generation starting from from multilingual to monolingual. They are speaking Papuan Malay or Indonesian, but they no longer speak their local language. Interestingly, they can speak their neighbor's language, especially Javanese language. Well, through this phenomenon, my research question is, um, do the policies sufficient to answer the issues of language shifting among Moi ethnic groups in Sorong Regency? Why do I ask about the language policy here? It's because in 2019, Sorong municipal government committed to save Moi language, and they create a local language policy to protect their language. So I would like to questions about their policy, whether it is sufficient enough to save Moi language. Before talking about the policy, I would like to talk about things that happened before the policy itself. So based on District Regulation number 27 years 2017 about recognition and protection of Moi as indigenous people in Sorong District, especially Chapter 16 about education and culture, they have to protect the Moi language as one of the elements in Moi cultures. Besides that law, there were also adat meeting where some of traditional leaders came together in 2008 to empower Moi traditional custom. In the text itself, or these traditional leaders together with the local government concerned about Moi language shifting and endangerment. This is very important since the local autonomy or special autonomy for Papua, some of the leaders are coming from the local people, so they are concerned about their identity. This is motivate them to empower their language, and through this they could create a local identity. They need this identity for the sake of politics, local politics too. Besides, the Moi people also concerned about their land ownership. There are lots of investments around Moi lands, especially from palm oil investors. They take a lots of lands in order to create palm oil. So some of them are sending their land in order to get a very instant income. In fact, this affects their ownership towards the land. So, in short, this concern is not only about Moi language language endangerment, but also related to their problem on traditional custom and also their ownership, their land ownership. Let's take turn to the next discussion about Moi language policy. So, in 2019, February 11, January 11, 2019, Johnny Kamuru, head of Sorong Municipal, signed one policy to protect Moi language. That is a Region Decree number 434 on inauguration and determination of Moi Kelim language as common language in governmental and societal context. Through this policy, in action, Johnny Kamru and, well, especially the policy, create one decision or two decisions. The first one, which is already launched, is they are creating Moi Day on Thursday. So every Thursday, people who has who want to communicate with government employee on Thursday they have to use Moi language. Another thing is they are initiated to create Moi language curriculum. These are two small book, one version 1 and 2, that can be used for the governmental employee to use the language. Like when they want to say good morning, they have to use the word Lao book. So this is very small and very thick. Very thin. However, this is quite helpful for them, they said. Continue next about language revitalization related to Law Bianco. Language revitalization itself is not only to empower the language but also empower the community. So it's the problem on the community. So there are three elements in this language revitalization. They are authority, participation, and goals. The authority is to give a power to the language itself or from the government or local leaders to give a place for the language, bring in actions. And then participation is about local community movement, or they are going along together, discussing and then doing some action in order to empower the language. The last one is about the goal. That is actually to empower the language itself. Well, let us coming to the issues about our discussion. Do the policy addresses the issue of Moi language? For this time, I can say that Moi language is very beginning, if I can say. It's just a started. So they started from the Moi language that is I think this is a symbolic policy to empower the language itself. However, because this policy is implemented only especially for the local government employee, it seems that this is really not answering the question of increasing the Moi speakers, because the government employee itself is very heterogeneous. Most of them are coming from out of Moi people. So for me, this policy is quite misleading because because it is not actually adding or giving increasing the number of the Moi speaker. However, this will quite increasing the practice of the language. I think that's all for my discussion. Thank you so much for your attention, and I would like to ask you to give some comments and also additional questions or to develop these papers. Thank you so much. Malo maso.